going to call on, I think it's brand manager Mandy Pitts, and let her introduce other people who will be assisting her in a presentation of our brand.
Thank you, Mayor Wright. Good evening. Good evening, council members, Mr. Berry, Mr. Crone. This is exciting. I excuse my voice. I've been talking so excited about this brand, I've lost my voice. But it's great to be with you tonight to share where we are on this project that all of you have been on board with for quite some time now. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Alan Jackson in just a minute, but before I do, I want to mention that we've already shared this with over 350 of our city employees. We've shared it with them. They've embraced it. They're learning from it, giving us ideas as well. And so right now, where we are, our Business Development Committee has reviewed it too and tweaked it. So where we are tonight is we're presenting it at the City Council meeting. And from there, we're going to get ready to go on a road show or tour or whatever you want to call it. We're going to go to the Kiwanis Clubs, the Rotary Clubs, PTAs, coffee clubs, anybody who will let us in the door and ask them for a partnership and how we can all move together collectively with Hickory's brand print. And so with that preview, I want to go ahead and turn it over to Alan Jackson, who is no stranger to the podium, the chairman of the Business Development Committee.
Thank you, Mandy. Mayor Wright, members of City Council, Mr. Berry, Mr. Crone, good to see you all again. And we're just going to recap a little bit and tell a little bit about what we're doing with our brand and the presentation that we are giving to a lot of different organizations here in the city and the community around us about what the impact's going to be and why we're doing this. And a lot of people ask the question, what is the brand? Is it just a logo? Is it just picking out some colors? And our hopes are to educate everybody that it's a lot deeper than that. It's the starting spot for a lot of work we continue to have done over the next several years. And our Business Development Committee are really excited about the opportunities here. We're already seeing much of our work plan evolve just from this brand as a starting point. So it gets really exciting to talk about this. So what's happening here is that back in 2010, just a year and a half ago or so, we started on the process of looking at designing our brand. And that was started through the Business Development Committee, which is a group of volunteers here that's been working together for quite a while. But this latest version of the committee, just over the last couple of years, has taken this as our #1 priority project for the committee. So we realized that branding was a priority. That wasn't just from our own group, that was everything we were hearing out in the community as well. A lot of people feel like there was a lack of identity. Without that identity for a city, it's really hard to get out there and get your message heard. It's hard to attract new residents. It's hard to attract new businesses, everything that we're trying to do. So we realized that was a priority. And the question we had for ourselves is, we know how wonderful Hickory is, and how do we market ourselves? How do we let the rest of the world know the answer to that question? And we realized the key was bringing in a firm that could help us design this brand. Northstar Destination Strategies was the firm we chose. We went through an entire process. I think we had 18 submittals from different companies, both local and out of the area, trying to find the best fit for a firm that can help us design this brand. There's a lot of firms that can help us design logos and colors and themes, but what Northstar brought to the table, which was really critical for us, was the fact that A, they've worked with many, many cities, municipalities, and communities doing this exact same project. B, they also brought in all of the survey data and research collection process, which we knew we were going to need as well. So bringing them in, we knew that was key. We selected them as being the firm to help us get started in putting together what we call our brand print, which we'll be discussing in a moment. And next we have a little video from one of our Business Development Committee members who's going to talk quickly about these.
Hi, I'm Laurie Hoover. I'm with Vanguard Furniture Company, and I'm part of the Business Development Committee that is through the City of Hickory. Our committee has helped to develop the brand and the branding for the City of Hickory and the community. I'm excited about developing this brand because I think having a brand tells your story. It tells a lot about the history and who you are as a community. And this area has a lot to offer. I think that Hickory, in general, especially the furniture business, needs a shot in the arm. We've been through a lot lately. And being able to tell our story is very important. We need everyone to know about Hickory and the community, the surrounding area, and all that it has to offer. So I'm excited to get that message out there to all the people, all the citizens of this area, and those beyond.
All right. Laurie would love knowing that we're watching a video of her right now. My video is later, so I'm going to sit down before that one happens. But thing with the brand, you've heard us say this comment before, and it really, the more you sit and think about it, it really is what we're trying to accomplish here. Your brand is what people say when you're not around. It's your reputation. It's what people think of you. And that was something we needed to get a better handle on. We needed to know what that brand was, what brand we wanted to be promoting, and take control of that reputation. So branding is what you do about it. It's the practice of managing your reputation instead of letting others around you develop a reputation for you. Branding should contribute to policymaking, economic and social development, not just promotion, but to strategy. And that's where our Business Development Committee has really taken this idea of the brand, and we're already seeing it craft a lot of our work plans for the coming years. Just what can we do to take off of this brand that are going to help with business development opportunities, economic development opportunities, and so on. One thing that we're trying to do with this, and an authentic description and promise of the community that attracts, obviously we're looking for this brand to help us with business and entrepreneurs, with visitors, with the live anywhere professionals. We're seeing this kind of economy change where professional people with different careers and jobs are setting themselves up anywhere in the world. You could do work remotely from anywhere. We want Hickory to be one of those destinations where those live anywhere professionals can be. Families, of course, active adults, and then whatever generation we're up to now. I think Generation Y, maybe we're getting to Generation Z, I'm not sure. But that younger generation we want to be targeting as well. So how do we make sure our message resonates with all of those groups and has something attractive and appealing to all of them and speaking their languages? So how do we go about doing this? Well, first, Northstar began looking at current attitudes in Hickory. This is where it was a nice advantage to have them on board. They looked at not only just data, but they also talked to a lot of people. They did our research, they did surveys, they did a lot of one-to-one discussions as well as group discussions, trying to get a handle on what do we think of ourselves, what do the people here think. And then they also talked with a lot of people in other communities. What are their perceptions of Hickory looking in, which was really interesting to hear some of those notes. They gave us a lot of reports, and I'm not going to go through all of this data, but many of it you've seen in the brand print itself, giving us some idea of where we fall in comparison to other communities and groups. Things like overnight visitors, where our active development efforts are for economic development, and where some prospects are, and where different adjectives that kind of match up with those types of prospects. Looking at our comparison against other community groups in other cities and areas. Just a lot of data we're working towards, kind of helping us map and understand where things congregate around us, where our visitors are coming from. Doing things like a survey to understand what the community is thinking about this area. This is all things they did. They were able to give us that finished brand print. They gave us all this information kind of together in a summary that was easy for us to digest and work with. A lot of questions about phrases and adjectives best describe Hickory. What are some things we need to be putting in our marketing messages that really resonate with people? So the kind of things we learned, some of these phrases we're very familiar with. A lot of people saying, well, I've always associated with the furniture capital. The main reason we go is because of furniture shopping. Searching for a new identity is what they say about us. The industry's in a decline, but our greatest strength is our location. They're doing what's right, they just need to keep it up. These are all just quotes of things we heard from the actual research. One word being resilient. Well, I like that one a lot. I thought that was a nice one to hear. Hickory is self-contained with a strong center for commerce and activity. Hickory is like a mature hickory tree, which represents strength, furniture heritage, and natural resources. Positive attitudes of the people. We left and came back because we know we can expect the best service in Hickory. And a few more words like quality and built with pride, location, and quality assets kept coming up. There's something both solid and creative about Hickory. It's not a mass-produced community. They have assets we wish we had. That actually came from another community. To me, quality craftsmanship is something made in Hickory, North Carolina. That's a key word right there, quality craftsmanship, because that really became a springboard for our brand going forward. So the brand became our brand statement as we look at this, is that Hickory is for doers and makers seeking a well-rounded community. Hickory is a bridge between Asheville and Charlotte at the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains along I-40, where a collective spirit of craftsmanship strengthens any endeavor with detail, artistry, and quality. Now that by itself is a nice statement, but all it is a springboard. All that is a starting point for us. And if all we do is just put that on brochures and hope people come and pick them up, we're not doing anything with it. This gives us a purpose. This gives us an idea of the kind of image we want to portray to the community and to the rest of the world. Let me go ahead and click through here. So for a couple of these, let's focus on some of these parts of this brand image here. For doers and makers seeking a well-rounded community. The doers and makers phrase was really nice to hear them come up with it. Because I personally have always associated Hickory where we have a lot of great thinkers, we have a lot of great ideas here, but what makes us a little different is that we actually have people who are going to do something. That's not to say we don't have the talkers and the dreamers and all that. Every community needs those. But we've got a large community of doers and makers here. People who are making things, craftsmen, building things, technology being made, things being developed and written and created. And I think that doers and makers phrase really does sum it up well for us. And just a few photographs of all the different types of things that we're doing and making here. It's not just the fiber optics and the furniture. Those are big parts of it. You can get down to professional services, art, culture, you can look at entertainment. We have people doing and making the things here that we need. Healthcare, entertainment, recreation, religion, all of those things are here and people are actually building things to do. Hickory's a bridge between Asheville and Charlotte at the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains and along I-40. Location came out to be such an important aspect of our brand. People love Hickory for the location. And that's something that the Northstar believes that we're not using to our advantage as much, is that playing up the location, playing up the natural resources that we have here. So that's something they really felt like needed to be in that brand pretty important. So of course, looking at this, we want people to understand that, yes, we are a bridge. Some people could say, well, does that mean you're just in between them? Yes, we are in between two larger cities. We're connected to those, but we have our own niche. We have our own spot here. Playing off the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains is incredibly important because of the scenic nature and the natural resources we have. And then letting people know we have a major connection with an interstate, which not every city can enjoy as much. So of course, I don't need to show you guys this stuff. This is stuff you see, the photographs of all the imagery in the area with mountains and lakes and a lot of natural resources that we really need to make sure we play up more in our branding. And then of course, all the opportunities and shopping and recreation activities here as well are things we keep playing up too. And then, just kind of make sure everybody knows where we are in case anybody here is forgetting. We can zoom in with a Google map here and, of course, see where Charlotte is. And, of course, it's the big metropolitan area. A lot of people like being close to that. But we've got a distinct advantage in that we see ourselves in between these two metropolitan areas, between Charlotte and Asheville. Here we are in Hickory. And, of course, you go to the other side, you'll see Asheville as well. We've got a nice niche. We've got a nice spot. We've got something. We need to play up that location and geography a lot more than we do. And that's going to be a big key for a lot of our marketing efforts